Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at the Imperial Tie Fighter. It is set 75300 for ages 8+ and has 432 pieces. It has 3 minifigures, the Tie Fighter pilot, NIL-8, and the Stormtrooper. On the box it shows the Tie Fighter and then the Death Star with some blasts in space. And then on the top of the box, like all Lego boxes, it has Lego. And then, since the theme is Star Wars, it says Star Wars and has Darth Vader in the logo up there in the corner. So now I'll take a look at the set. So here is the set. It's quite a downscale, or it's like the cockpit's probably around the same size, but it's smaller than the previous version of the TIE Fighter, which is fine. It makes this set a cheaper set. It is $50 Canadian, so it's quite a bit different from the, I believe, $100 or around that was the previous version. And yeah, I like it. The build is quite simple. The first bag, I believe, was building the cockpit, and then the other 2 bags after that was building the wings, which are quite thick, but they won't fall off easily. There's some Technic pins in there, so if you were to, unless you just yanked on it, it would be, it's gonna be alright. And the cockpit area looks good with the windshield piece there with some printing on it. That's nice. And then another print on the top right there. And there's no stickers in this set, which is nice. Stickers aren't really a big problem to me, but they can be an issue if you put them on incorrectly. So the wings are pretty detailed for a downsized model. There's a print right there, and it's just black with light bluish gray tiles and some plates around, just with being connected on the top right there at each point. Some tiles here, and it's a mix of tiles and studs, which I like. Even though there are quite a few studs that are open like that, I like the closed studs better, but there's no piece like that with closed studs, so it makes sense. There's the back of it, some red studs there for some lights. The spring-loaded shooters in green, which I believe is a different version from the last one, or the last few, which is not really a big deal to me, like flick-fire. Or not flick-fire missiles. Oh, I shot the TIE Fighter pilot. Yeah, the spring-loaded shooters are in green, and it just flicks like that. You've got an extra one in case you lose one in the box, or in the bags with it. I think it's more the wings that are smaller on this, but I still like the size of it. It would be nice if it's an easy one that you could get multiples instead of if you wanted to buy 3 or 4, it would cost you $200 instead of the $400 that it would have cost with the previous models. So to open the cockpit, you can open 2 parts, the windshield piece or this. You can still fit the minifigure if you just open it up like that, and the minifigure you'd put in there would be the TIE Fighter pilot. There's no studs or anything to keep the minifigure in place, but it's tight enough in there that they should not fall out. And there's a little control area there, and you can just close it, and the minifigure looks quite good in there, and it's easy to remove with a few red studs in the middle. The only part I don't like about this build, I quite like this build, is this dark bluish gray connector piece here, just because it looks off with all the light bluish gray. That one dark bluish gray piece just looks a little odd, but it's alright. So now I'll look at the minifigures of this set. So like I said before, there are 3 minifigures in this set. The first here is the TIE Fighter pilot, has some Imperial logos right there, some more printing right there, which is quite nice, and some printing on the helmet. And there's some back printing there. Not a ton, but there's back printing to add some detail, which is nice. Like most TIE Fighter pilot torsos, it doesn't really change much. And there's some light printing there, which connects to the lines throughout the torso printing, which is nice. And it's a nice minifigure. It makes sense that it comes in a TIE Fighter, but I don't think it's a minifigure you want to have a ton of, unless you have a ton of TIE Fighters. There's no secondary face there, and this is the face you get for the TIE Fighter pilot. Just like a regular face, but you won't be taking off this helmet, I wouldn't think. Maybe if you built a mock and you had a few TIE Fighter pilots running around, and before they grab their helmets to go in, they had them off. And it's a nice... I forget if this used to have the angry clone face or not. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, the next figure is... I don't know, has this come in any sets before? NIL8. It's a nice droid figure. I think if you bought multiple of these, you can just... And if you wanted to build a mock, you can have like a bunch of these running around in like an Imperial base. So that's nice. There's quite a bit of printing on this, and it's... Even though it's just like a black minifigure, it has some color with the wires, which look nice. There's the back printing and then the wires in there, which is nice. And same for the front there. And that piece on the like hip piece connects to the torso piece, which is always nice. The only thing that to me looks odd about this, I feel like right now it's hard to tell, but like looking at it, the head just seems so much smaller to the body, but it's a nice molded headpiece. It looks cool. I like it. It's a good minifigure. And then the next one is another minifigure that makes sense for this set. A Stormtrooper, which just has a normal blaster, the normal back printing for a Stormtrooper, torso printing, and leg printing. That really is with all Stormtroopers. The only newer thing is the newer design for the helmet, which I like the previous one better, but I've gotten used to this and I'm fine with it. But it's, yeah. The face printing there, just a normal face instead of the angry clone face, which I like this better because I guess there'd maybe be a few clones in the Imperial Army, but not a ton of them if they didn't sneak in or something like that. But yeah, I like this face print. There's no secondary face print there. So yeah, that is the Imperial TIE Fighter. I like this set. I think it's an easier way to get one because I don't know if everyone wants to just go and spend $100 on a TIE Fighter. So $50 Canadian is better. And if you want to buy multiples, you can do that. And it's easier to do that with the cheaper price. And really the only thing you're missing is a larger scale TIE Fighter, mostly in the wings, and probably a bit less detail, but not a ton because the wings are pretty detailed and they are pretty strong, which is nice that they didn't skimp out on the wing quality and the connection points, the Technic pins and all that in this area. It's quite sturdy. Of course, unless you like yanked a part off or something like that, it'd fall apart, but if you just use it normally, it's alright. So yeah, that is the Imperial TIE Fighter review. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.